Welcome to Subramani. I hope my smiles are continuing and you're continuing to like it. You see a change in the background but no change in the attire. I'm wearing the same coat and shirt which I wear at travel. I don't have a cap even though I'm on a vacation. I'm going to talk to you a little about how people source their cash flow. Largely, people think that capital should never be touched and capital should always remain intact and only income from that should be touched. So if a person has got a house, I can understand that they want to live off the rent. But when you have equity portfolio and debt portfolio, there is sometimes possible that you sell some share and you are not in a great mood to invest. Right now the market is pretty good. It's a good time to be booking your profits. Let's say you got 30,000-40,000 shares of one particular company and that is quoting at 500 rupees and your annual expenses are 50,000 rupees. There is no reason why you should not sell off 100 shares and meet your monthly expenses of 50,000 rupees. There is no harm in knocking off 100 shares to meet your household expenses. Don't do it every month, but we chase income too much and we don't book capital gains because there is a problem. The markets are up, so which makes us very complacent, saying every month that I don't sell, I'm actually gaining. If the market goes down, you will feel, array, I should have sold off some shares, right? So exactly the reason why you do SIP is why you should also be doing an SWP with part of your equity at least, because markets will come down at some stage. So at that stage you would feel, oh, I wish I had not concentrated so much on my income. We should try to have a good income, but all our requirements for expenses should not be met only by income during the retired stage also. A part of it can come from selling a portion of our equity portfolio, maybe selling some real estate. Right now I know a couple who are about 77 and 70 years of age. They have sold a property in Delhi and they are trying to reinvest it so as to create a 4% income to save tax. And I said maybe a little bit, maybe 50 lakhs is what you can put, there is a ceiling, and beyond that let it be there, you pay some tax on it and use it for your expenses. There is no need to reinvest that in another property to save taxes, right? That is what people do so that the capital remains intact. For them it's very important that the capital remains intact. Now you put 10 lakhs in a house and that you are selling it for 2 crores. What should you keep intact, 10 lakhs or 2 crores? Why should you think 2 crores should be intact? Right, 2 crores need not be intact. 2 crores, a big portion of it is part of your own return, your own money coming back to you. So when assets appreciates, getting rid of some of the assets makes sense, especially when the markets are doing very well. Sell off some assets, take some income from the income that you're getting, maybe some interest income and all that. Maybe you do a combination of an SWP and occasional selling off of some equity. There is no reason why all the expense should be met only from income. That forces you to be in more of debt, saying only in debt can I get a return which is enough to meet my expenses. But if equity gives you what, let's say 2% dividend return and an 18% appreciation, it's better to get a 20% return in equity rather than a 7% return in debt, saying, oh, I need the cash flow. What I'm trying to say is people forget that cash flow is more important, not income. From where it comes is not so important. So if you're 75 years of age or 76 years of age, pruning down a little bit of your equity portfolio is not such a bad idea. Get rid of some equity, maybe get rid of some real estate. You have one real estate in Bangalore, one in Coimbatore, one in Chennai, one in Bombay. Great, get rid of some of them. Don't pay the taxes, don't reinvest in another house, you don't need to. And keep reducing your assets. That's a nice way of meeting your expenses. One is you can meet your regular expenses like that. Or decide that if I have to travel abroad, if I have to take a vacation, if I have to make any big purchase, it would even be a television set, right? You want to spend 50,000 rupees on a television set or 75,000 rupees on a new television set. Great, just go sell some shares, the same share which you have, sell 150 of that or sell 200 of that, you will get 1 lakh of rupees, buy white goods. You say my white goods will be funded by selling off a part of my capital, because at 75 years of age, if you buy a TV, good chance that it will last you till 90, and after that maybe you live in a senior citizen home or somewhere where you don't need the TV. So you're looking for a TV with a 15-year life, and that can come out of your capital, right? Or when your children are buying a house, let's say you want to give 10 lakhs to your children, to your child who is buying a house, just tell him that, look, I want to give you 10 lakhs, how do you want it? If he wants equity, give him equity, let him borrow more. Let him take a higher home loan and be able to keep this 10 lakhs of equity with him. So you don't pay tax, you have just gifted it. He will pay tax only when he sells it, right? So you have deferred your tax also, you have pruned down your assets, you have done all that, right? All this is part of your retirement planning. Retirement planning is not just saying, oh, I'll put it into 3-4 buckets, and yes, that's a very important part of retirement, that your bucket theory is created, but that is not everything, right? All these things are part of your retirement plan, saying how you will remove the money, how you will keep the money. If you have a huge problem today reinvesting, and I really don't know whether to put money in equity where I think the valuations are stretched, or put it in debt where the yields are low, or should I put it in US where I find that the PEs are lower than the PEs in India. So should I be putting it in US? Should I put it in Europe where I think it's very beaten down value, or should I continue putting it in India? I don't have an answer. Maybe I should put in a global allocation fund. Maybe I should put in a pool of assets which has debt, equity, gold, etc. Right? Multi-asset fund. Should I have no clue. So this is a stage when you don't want to create cash flow issues and issues saying my income is low. Your income is low, great, it's a bull market, great time to be selling some of your equity assets and trying to put it into something else. Putting into something else, one of them could be expenses. Suppose your annual expenses are 6-7 lakhs. No harm in booking some profits worth say 7-8 lakhs, keeping it in the ultra short bond fund and doing an STP worth 50,000 every month. And then if the market goes down, you can look at it very differently. At least you say, okay, at least 6 lakhs I removed out of my 5 crore portfolio or your 6 crore portfolio, right? You can do all this. So understand that don't say all my expenses should be met out of income. Don't say all my EMI should be met out of selling my shares. These combinations have to be made. See what is your age. See how long you need that portfolio to survive. Based on all that, plan your cash flow better than just saying, oh, I need income to meet my expenses. You don't need income to meet your expenses. You need cash flow to meet your expenses. Yes, that cash flow should be sustainable over your life. So if you're only 62 years of age, maybe this money has to last another 40 years. I can understand that. But that does not mean that you cannot touch your capital. So do a combination of all this and then have a look as to what is happening. Thank you.